Alrighty, Zhen, let's do it. So, what is good about this ship? Well, let's talk about what it is. Zhen is a rank 17 ECM interceptor. It is. It's a very famous, mostly because of how it looks, and of course for some of its special weapons. So let's kind of talk about: is it good? Is it not? Overall, this is a pretty good ECM ship. And I'll discuss why very quickly, but let's first talk about the main weapons. I'm gonna make sure I have my notes up because I'm trying to get better at, actually having a good. I don't have it up. So, anyways, so let's talk about why this ship is good. Its slots are weird, but it has good slots for shields. This is a pretty good replacement for Emergency Barrier. So this thing is okay as an ECM. It's like 7 out of 10, but it's pretty good and reliable in things like PvP. Let's talk about Geyser. Geyser is sort of a noob trap. Unless you have really good ping and are very good, you can do what you like, but frankly, it's not useful when a lot of the current meta has a lot of fast ships. So it's much better to use something like Supercharger, which is what I use and what I recommend. The region is good. You can build it for high speed and strafe. You use Repair Some Sabotage to get out of, it allows you to get out of stasis debuffs or any sort of debuff from an enemy. And Shield Booster is good because it allows you to be alive longer. And you have your two. You get Engine Controller Hack, which basically makes an enemy go in a certain direction. It's very good for landing shots, and it's one of the greatest. It's one of the strengths of this weapon, of the ship, is that in this fast movement meta, stasis only lasts, I think 2.5 seconds, give or take, maybe less. 3 seconds. That's not bad, but that's not very long compared to a couple seconds that this is. 8 seconds. So this simply means that you can use this on any ship, big or small, and that allows you to actually take them out if they're super fast, because it's kind of hard to fight them. Frankly, I would always go with Magnetic Mind, because you can up the damage using Crew and use that, kind of what I do with Core Volnus. But Energy Neutralized Missile is always a good pick as well. And also, of course, you can do, I think it's a little bit cheesy, which means kind of cheap, kind of like an exploit, kind of just to use Doomsday Missile. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like low effort, but you can if you want. Just pop this or stasis and throw a missile and one-shot interceptors. So let's talk about why I recommend Kinetic Supercharger. This kind of goes into more good information that I'm trying to help the audience about the different weapons an ECM can use. So I'll just go ahead and go over them, and that will go into the rest of my current build. So I like Kinetic Supercharger because of a few reasons. The first one is that it has high alpha, so it's more of a per hit dynamic of a weapon. Weapons have dynamics, and that's what I'm teaching officially, is that weapons have different playstyles, different dynamics. So this is made to be like a tap fire. It's not something that's made for higher. I mean, you could do high rate of fire, but you're made to do a lot of damage per hit. It's a per hit weapon, and that goes into its spread. People say that Pirate is better because it has less spread, but when you use it, especially considering this does a lot less cloud damage and less damage in general, this is a much better weapon because all you do is tap, wait for the spread to cool down, tap again. You have very little or no spread, and you're focusing on making those taps against enemies that deal a lot of damage. And it's kinetic damage, which is really good against the hulls of most ships because most people don't run a specific kinetic hull resist. So that's the reason why. Excuse me. That's the other reason why this weapon is pretty strong. That and the cloud damage actually does good damage against frigates and and destroyers. It's actually pretty balanced. It can do different sort of things. Let's look at the rest of them here while we're here, though. I think in general, everyone says the best weapon is Phase Suppressor because it has, I think, higher damage DPS, has higher damage per second, shoots faster. I think it's got better projectile speed. It does less damage, but it also stops people from cloaking and reduces people's whole shield and hull regeneration by 50%, which is a big deal. And this is also the reason why you want to have Pirate in the first place, because it goes set to 80%. So, personally, Pirate Kinetic Supercharger isn't that good. Pirate Phase that's good because you're really going to debuff your enemies because they can't regenerate their hull and shield, which is really important for many types of ships that have high regeneration, like certain types of Zetas and other small ships of that nature. So I really recommend Pirate Phase Suppressor, and Phase Suppressor works really well. One thing too about Phase Suppressor that's good, because it's a thermal weapon, is you can put on a glow reflector and have really good damage, and it has pretty low spread as well. You can kind of it's not a tap fire weapon. It just has a little more rate of fire for that, but you can still tap the weapon to control the spread. Like for instance, we say rails, but assault railgun. You always tap this weapon. You always tap it. You just keep tapping it to have no spread, but still have the damage. But I wouldn't call it dynamically a tap weapon because it's not made to do high alpha. It's made to be consistent. This thing is made to do really good consistent damage, and you just control the spread by tapping it. So in this case, you're just controlling the spread by tapping it, even though it's not a tap fire weapon. It's not a per hit alpha weapon. So I'm trying to explain the differences. So even though you can tap, they do different things. One's controlling the spread, the other, they both have the same mechanic for different types of weapons. That's all. But again, it's another fine weapon to use. And of course, for now, they have the New Year's Phase Suppressor, which does double damage to destroyers. Fine as well. We already talked about Geyser. Pulse Laser is a tried and true classic. Nothing wrong with that. Plasma Gun actually is pretty darn good if you have the right crits for it. 45%, 128. Probably go ahead. And that's not bad. It's much better than a Covert Ops, but I will just say, like, a Pirate Raider is a fairly good PvP player. He has absolutely trounced many people, including me, with like some crazy Eagle build, some Covert Ops Eagle build. So I'm just saying, if people say Plasma Gun sucks, yeah, I don't know. There are some uses for it, so don't be afraid to try it. I've had some success with it as well because it's very consistent, very reliable, and it does pretty good damage. If you have a Covert Ops so that can double the damage, it's actually pretty good. An RF Blaster is another just normal weapon that's fine. Probably go ahead and keep that. Maybe even run electric. You do that as well. There's different builds you can do. Let's go back to what I was running though. Now the reason I'm running this is because the build reflects how I want this to do. This is a per hit weapon, so I'm buffing my damage and buffing my crit damage. So even though I could have less crit damage and more crit chance, which would be more balanced, I want every third shot to deal double damage, which means the alpha will really hurt. So that's why I have it built this way. So I want a lot of damage per hit. That's why I'm not going for a fire. It just matches the dynamic of the weapon. So that's why I run high crit damage, so that when I hit a crit, I really feel it, and they do as well. So that's the idea behind it. I want to talk about one other thing. I was thinking about going for a hull. You're probably wondering, hey, there is no hull regeneration. I have really recently been taught by some good players who did take out the time and patience to try and help me understand a little bit about regeneration. It seems like, hey, this thing can't heal its soul. That's kind of bad. Like if you win a fight and you go away, you're just gonna die again. Okay, well, here's a few things to think about. And the first thing is that treat everything as one big health bar. Right, so just ignore the shield and whole thing. Just put them together like one big health bar. You want to regenerate the strongest part of the health bar, right? So I guess you said one health bar, but it's one health bar with two parts. It's better to regenerate the health bar that has all these buffs here than the whole regen, which has nothing. This is a Jericho ship. It's made for shields. It has nothing really good for hull at all. I only have one hull slot, which I've used for something else. So this had the whole part of your health bar has no buffs, while the shield part of your health bar has a lot more resistances. So it is overall better to regenerate your shield and not your hull, even though shield regenerates naturally and hull does not. In a fight, regenerating your hull during a battle will give you a lot more survivability rather than your hull. Shield over hull. One other thing too is that, especially with emergency barrier, you can actually really abuse. It's called near death buff. So when you hit your EM barrier and you hear like the big red lights saying I'm about to die, you get some hidden buffs. I don't actually know. I really don't have the list. I wish I had it written down somewhere. I don't know, but it's like more damage, more crit damage, and you'll have to do a lot more. You can do a lot more damage when you're at near death. This ship is really, really good for that because you have good shield. You can live at low health because you can run away from everything and stop anything, and you have a strafe build that works at range, so you can actually contribute a lot without dying. So frankly, even though you can run a whole regeneration, it is better strategically to use a shield booster. And I hope that I explained why. People are not good at explaining it. I'm trying to do a better job than they did so that we understand why it's better. I was called a noob, and that's not very nice and not very useful. No one can explain to me why the heck people do these things, but so that's why. Even though you'll die, and one thing to think about too is like full regen or shield regen. If you're gonna die, you're gonna die anyways. Just being perfectly clear. But you will have more effectiveness living if you're like in a situation that's gonna die. You'll have more time living if you buff the stronger part of the health bar because you'll have more effective health. Really, it's not that different. So frankly, that's why this build is really good. And so now let's talk about a little bit of an ECM guide as well. What this thing is good for. This thing is good for creating gaps and creating opportunities. And let's discuss that a little bit because that has to do with the play style. So let's talk about this special module, Virus Attack. People may think of it like, oh, it's super strong. And look, for a pro player, versus an experienced player, it's not that crazy. People can either shake off the debuff, get out of range, or just not use a module. So it's not that it's very strong. It's just that it has a low cooldown. View it as a low cooldown invincibility that can that does. I'll tell you a little bit about mind games, but the big part is invincibility with a low cooldown. All right. So the next part of that is you do not want to use this when you're near death, because what's the point? If you extend, right? So let's say that's extension, right? So when we say extending something, it means interrupting someone to extend the battle or extend their damage. Like the fight takes longer, so they're doing less damage to give you more of a chance to live. So you want to use this either when your shield's down or really want to use this right when they're coming at you for a couple reasons. The first one, you can either use it when someone's attacking you, like about to duel you, so they waste all their active modules on you, or right before, because then they cannot use their modules on you and they can't shoot at you. So you need to use it in a way that actually makes you have to play mind games with an enemy. So again, if I see a Tharga coming at me, if he wants to use his, I say alpha cell, all of his weapons, all of his active modules, if I use this, hopefully, if he's already using them, they're wasted because I'm invincible. And if he hasn't used them, he can't use them for 10 seconds. Sorry, for 6 seconds. No, for 10 seconds. I can't use it for 10 seconds afterwards. So I have 10 seconds where you can't use any modules against me. That's really helpful if used correctly. So this is not your I'm about to hit the F button. It doesn't work. Get in there anyways. I mean, obviously, it's the sad part. It's like it reinforces bad habits because sometimes it works. Sometimes we hit this and run away, we can survive, but that's a waste of it. You don't want to use all of these things at your disposal at the end of a fight. When you're at low health and they're probably at a better advantage than you are. You want to spread it out. That's what I mean by interrupting and making breaks, so you extend the battle. So they come at me, I hit this button, great. So now I've wasted a lot of active modules, and we're fighting, and I have better things. So let's say I get close to health, or I'm at a bad position, and they get close to me. I can use this module, and they'll fly from a direction, and that'll give me time to shoot at them. Or probably switch that around and use this. So we're getting back and forth, can I get at me? So I'm gonna go ahead and use this, and that way they can't do anything, and I'm still hitting them, right? So I just perform another extension, right? So they want to try to hit me. I use this, waste their attack. Great. You fight a little bit. I use this. They can't do anything. I've extended it. Then I fight a little bit, and then I get around them, or I use this. Either I can use that to kill them, or fly behind them, so they can't really shoot me very well. And again, I just extended the battle again. And by then, maybe this has been on cooldown, or something else is going on that I can use to win the fight. So that's the idea. As an ECM, your modules can be used for different things. This is really good for extending. So you can have high survivability throughout a battle. And it's fast. And with this, you can shake up any debuff and have more speed. So you can also control, really, just how far you want to go. You can run away or anything you want to do with that. Like, it's just as simple as that. So you have a lot of range control as well, which makes this thing very good for PvP. Because it's got good range control. It's very balanced, even though it's not the most effective ECM. So basically putting it's a very good and balanced PvP ship. It simply is, in my opinion. One thing, now, of course, on the other hand, you can use it to create opportunities. That's pretty obvious, right? If you're in a team fight, do the same thing, right? People can attack your ally, do this. Now they can use the modules. Or for a destroyer in your range, it's a great idea as well. And of course, this is really good for, opportunities, because someone's flying around, you can use this, they fly in a straight line. Now you have an opportunity to hit them when you wouldn't otherwise. Same thing for this. Like, you can use this for, maybe another a frigate or a destroyer that's using a module like a relic. Use that. Now you have an opportunity to shoot them. So you can use it to extend, or use it to interrupt, or use it to give yourself or your allies opportunities. Certain ships are just better at doing different things than that. And then, there's interfering as well. So this isn't like this interfering. This is good because they can't shoot, but they can still move around and stuff. So I go ahead and go with what has the longest duration time to get the highest amount of extension, which will improve your your defensiveness, rather than just going for all the stasis and short-term things which don't last very long. And if you don't make the kill or something, then it's not very useful. And one thing too about extending, having those breaks, is because if you do it all at the same time, first off, well, I guess the biggest thing is you're wasting them, and also that if you apply too many buffs too quickly, they go down in effectiveness. So if I put one down, the next one's reduced by I think 25% or 50%. So it's not as long if you just throw them all at once. So you're wasting it. Also, they go away in like a second. So don't just throw all of your active modules down. Pace them out. Again, draw out the battle. Extend it. That's one place off of it. But hey, you can feel free to do what you like. There's a lot of good uses for it here as well. You're more than welcome. Also, this is this is more of an extension reliability build, but you're more than welcome to use like weapon system inhibitor plus energy absorber. These are more for interfering with enemies, usually for brawling. So you use this, you drain their energy, you take less damage, great. And then if you do the same thing again, and if these have low cooldown, you can put another one, maybe a third one, stasis. And now every time you use one of these, you get more damage. So you can stack them and be running around with 15, 25% damage. Not 25%. I think it's like 15, 5%. So each one is 5% if they're upgraded. I have them. I just not available. They're just on other ships right now. So you can run around and have 50% more damage, and you can just run this as well. So that's another thing you can do as well. I just prefer my build because it's more about extending. This is more about point blank interfering. Trying to, or stopping them from using their model or things of that nature. And that really completes the major part of this build. It's mostly made, you can refit it to have better, no, that's it. There's actually not much you can customize with it. I thought there was a rotation speed. There is not. So I think this is more suited for a straight build and not a brawler build, especially with its modules and things like that. And that's what all this is for. This is a pretty good module as well, especially if you max it out. You have less recharge. But this is good because it's really good against other ECMs, because people can't target you for 2.5 seconds as well. With EM barrier, you live, but it doesn't mean that they stop targeting you or that you're invincible. With this, you are invincible, negative effects, and you disrupt everyone who's targeting you. So ECMs, they can't nab you right after you use your EM barrier, or right after this pops off and stuff. Down for crew. Oop, not that. Crew. Just typical stuff. Crit chance, shield. This doesn't really matter. You can do what you'd like there. I think I have this as well. I'm not sure if it's for this, but I think it's this one. Need crit damage. Any of these are fine. I go for this one. You can go for either of these is fine. Probably better to do this one as an ECM in battle, but I like running around, so I can use this or this. You can use this for whatever you'd like. Probably. It just depends. This could be useful as well, because it'll last longer if you go against Loki's. It just depends. You need this. That's really helpful as well. You can go for extension, but like more effectiveness. But it's better to use it better to be able to use it more than once in the same battle. Because if you use it twice in the same like battle, you double the time rather than just only adding 12%. If you can make the cooldowns slow enough. And again, it's not a rate of fire weapon, so I want each hit to really hurt. Any of these is fine. Probably this is better. You need the damage more than you need the shield because you have a shield booster. Yeah, that's fine. Both of these are actually really fine. I know that this is a little long time, so having this so I can pick a fight and have the damage is better than being at the mercy of whether I get an assist beforehand. But both are really strong. You can also use this as well if you want to. They're all pretty strong. These are good. I probably go for this because it's helpful to be stealth. No one can see you, and then I probably go for this. Yeah. And then of course, really I get a magnetic mine. I'm all up right now, but I get a magnetic mine and then just go all missiles probably. I'll probably skip this one. This. Yeah. But that's up. Either way is up to you guys. So that's that is the build. Now let's try and get a normal PvP battle. Let's just attempt that, huh? And I don't expect it to go really well or in general. Just the way PvP is really just good days and bad days, good matches and not good matches. But hopefully I can kind of be in here and kind of just show you what I'm talking about and explain it. So that way you guys, you guys don't have just the build, but you also have how to use it. One thing too is there is a keybind for ship status. Keybinds. Yeah, question mark. If you tap this, you can see everyone's lead markers, no matter if you're targeted or not. So we have a question. Okay, so that's it. Oh, I'm gonna do it 1 second now. Now I notice their AI, so I'm not worried about too much. Not shooting at me. So I get a little bit. But you can see the damage is actually pretty good. Okay, so that's gonna be a problem, right? So I'm gonna run away because I know he's gonna target. I'm gonna make sure not close to that tyrant. Anyway, so let me show you what happens when I hit the shift status button. Again, I don't think it's worth it to waste. Yeah. Alright, so hit ship status, I can see everyone's crosshairs. So let me go over here, and let me do that. That would interrupt him. I could have forced him to come near me, so he's not behind cover. It's a good idea as well. I'm not really doing much right now. This is kind of one of those empty matches. I don't really feel like we're on the bomb right now. If you notice, I'm tapped by the weapon here, so I'm not holding it down. I don't have enough damage to really, chase after anyone big over there. I don't have the allies to do it either. I'm gonna stop him. Okay, well then, this. They're just all bots. They're both bots, really. But yeah, I don't want to be close to them. I want to be farther away. And I will tell you that bot's absolutely way more damage than you do. So get some range. Push a little bit. Stop him. Okay, my oof. He's already moving directional, so I would hit him, but I'm not going to. So right now I should have near death. But See, like, that's super useful even against me, and I have the shapes as he does. I don't think of a range to hit him. So can I stay behind cover? Yeah, try this. You don't want to do where I'm doing. Like this nearby stuff is not good. Here we go. Here's an actual person. Okay, see? I'm not going to let them get close to me. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Okay, going to do that. I'm going to try and get away from him, so I need distance, right? So he's going to follow me, I'm going to need distance. Cool, let's just see if I can put my head around here. Alright, see if I can use that, make him follow me. I know that it's slow, I can dodge that. Alright, stop him from doing anything at all. Yeah. Nice and simple. Again, these are just bots. That's all that these are bots. And you can die to bots because they have more damage and they don't miss. Yeah, just like I'm about to do. But as you can tell, like, that emergency barrier has really saved my butt already a few times already. Okay, now I have to... Oop, don't do that. Again, it's invincibility. Alright, cool. So I still have near... So I can tell, like, I'm doing pretty okay, even though I have near death, because I'm knowing when to have my modules, I'm not spamming them, trying to be balanced about it, I'm keeping distance. And if you notice, I am near my allies. I'm not just running around running straight to the enemy like a dummy. That would be dumb. Right? Right, wait till it gets close. Stop that. What in the world is wrong with this thing? What is he doing? What is he shooting at? Alright, see if I can figure out where he's... Okay, make him... Nope, that was the wrong way. I waited too long. Trying to make him walk towards me and not away from me. Yeah, as you can tell, we're not really doing anything. I'm gonna die. I don't want to die. Okay, so I'm gonna run away now. Try to get some speed. Kind of just idling away here. 3 people are locking me. I'm trying to still lock them back. Nothing. Okay. I don't have him. Let's see. Who should we take care of right now? So that's the real person. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm gonna try to help him out there. Okay. Who should be interfering with right now? That's my goal right now. What should we be doing? He's doing something. I can't tell if it's this guy or somebody else. You can also hit against here. Okay, so that was not the real person. One thing about Zhen is that it is very... Okay. Ow. Another one. Ow. Alright, that's fine. So that tyrant is just basically having a field day. I am going to try and run the bomb. Let's see if this works. It's not, because as soon as you run the bomb, everyone attacks you. And I cannot believe that there literally was one being cannoned first. That is very annoying. So like I said, this is mostly just a crapshoot because no one can do anything. So try to run out some cover, don't want missiles to hit me. Really should use it on the visual, but Nope, can't do that. I forgot. Nope, it's not him. It's somebody else. Okay, do that. So now he can't do anything, so I get to run over here and not die. Okay, so let's chill out. Great. So now I'm going to run over here, see who we have on the field. Okay, so that's our actual person here. Okay, figure out where he's going. Okay, well, I don't know what happened there, but he died. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am not going to do that. I'm going to do this. Okay. I'm going to try... As you can tell, I'm just surrounded by people. Someone's going to die. It's just what's going to happen. Yep. Yeah, I mean, matches are just like this. It's just what happens. But we're doing good. Overall, we're doing good. I have choices right now. I need to go back and... Where'd the tyrant go? Okay, so he's gone. Okay, so where's the bomb? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait starting him since he's not noticing me. After the bomb. Okay, and I'm going to run. Okay, who is shooting at me? No, I don't need him. I need someone small and fast who is running after me. No one's running after me. Okay, that's good. Just do some wiggle. Nice and calm. Cool. Nice and easy. Alright, so he's targeting me. It's still the Barrio. Okay, no big deal. No big deal. Let me not close him yet. Okay. Let's see if I can do some damage against him. That is not working. Move a little bit. I'm probably just gonna die, but I can extend like this. I'm probably gonna run a regroup. I just don't want him to run away. So let me do that. Great. I've got 15 seconds. Okay. So let's see if I can do some at range. I hope he doesn't hit me back. No, it doesn't matter anymore that time. Alright, well that was a good match. That's it. I will say that I did have some success just basically running away. Like, again, if I'm in battle, I can stop someone, use this to run away, and then just spam this, because it's got 17 seconds recharge. I mean, I can always just... One of these is an extender, and I can just run away and dodge, just keep regenerating my whole. Just abuse it. Even though shield is better, I can still, it's something to think about as well, just as an option. I don't think it's better than this, really, but it's an option. And if you want, you can do a whole regen and put a EM barrier on here. I just don't think it's optimal. And then, free to change it around. But I really should emphasize, you need the speed. You really need the speed. Well, that's it. So that's Zhen. I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, take care. Bye.